All right, guys, before we get to today's video, quick shout out to my own company, Adventure Drive. So we do these driving events all over the world. 2023 is no exception. We've got 3 trips coming up. One from Washington, D.C. to Nashville. This is from April 26th to the 30th. Then in July, we're doing a trip to Italy, which is going to be phenomenal. It's all northern Italy, starting and ending in Rome. You're going to love that one. And if you can't make it overseas or to the East Coast trip, you've got plenty of runway for the September 20th to 25th drive, starting in Napa Valley and ending in Las Vegas. That's going to be a great trip as well. Check them out. I put a link right below in the description of every video. Hope to see you out there. All right, what's up everybody? Rob Ferretti, and before I get to today's video, well, this is today's video, but before I get to today's video, I'm gonna give you an update here on the Z06. So last time you remember this car, we had the transmission issue, and I just wanna point out that it was a low voltage issue, much more than it was anything else. It took one sleep cycle of the battery, the charge obviously, and then lastly, the 3 drive cycles, or like quick drive cycles, to make that go away. Let me get the key and I'll show you that this is no longer an issue. So it's gone on rental a couple of days. Here's the key. It's had the 2 sleep cycles and the 3 drive cycles, and it's got a couple of more miles on it than it did when it started. And now we're at 2,537 miles on it. Has not had to go in for service. No lights. I mean, I can't go anywhere because there's a Lambo in front of me, but it would move if I wanted to move. Let's see if there's anything behind me. That's a yes. So, all right, well, I'm proving that this thing is still maintaining its reliability. It was a low voltage thing in the battery. Once it cleared out, no dealership visits, no major issues, and with the now couple of hundred rental miles on it after that issue, pretty safe to say we're back in good shape. Now, let's go talk about what I wanted to talk about for today's video. All right, you know what? Forget about today's video, because today's video is now all about the Corvettes. I am rescinding, this is me after golfing, I am rescinding my previous endorsement that the Corvette Z06 is not broken, because it is turning into a McLaren in that it doesn't know if it's broken or not, and it's becoming a real problem. So that car just went out again this weekend, and we brought, and this is the worst, a car that's broken, like a Ferrari or a Lambo, like, you know, maybe it'll pop a check engine light, and I can deal with that, right? Hey, just if it drives funny, let me know. The transmission stopping you in the middle of the road and leaving you in neutral, that's a big problem for me, because I had a customer who just had the car, dropped it off in South Jersey, and that's the problem with cars that are unreliable. That's why I don't rent McLarens anymore, because they have electrical issues and you can't rent it with an electrical issue. So the car went out, it was perfectly fine. I was speaking to a engineer over at GM who said just reset it by doing this. And I gave it to a customer. 39 miles later, the guy's stuck on the side of the road dead. He's like, it just started downshifting, and then luckily I got over to the shoulder and then it wouldn't go into gear again. I'm like, well, here we go. Like, the truck just got back. So we just drove 2 hours down, dropped it off, 2 hours back. And now what do? I have to provide the customer service and send the truck back to either swap the guy the car, which I've already ruined his day, or I have to go and pick up the car and bring it back. And I told him how to reset it. He was able to drive it back to his house. But that's a problem. You can't have a car that is forcing you to stop and then throwing you into neutral. Especially, it's no longer just an electrical thing, it's an actual malfunction. So that car went back to the dealership. I can say with certainty after 3 or 4 of these that the C8 is a reliable car, which is very easy to deal with. The Z06, I'm now at 2,500 miles and running into the same problems or very similar problems that other people have dealt with. And as I said, having a car that might break down elsewhere, I'm going to get rid of them. If this becomes a persistent problem and it becomes something where I go drop a car off in Boston and I don't bring up a backup car. Now, the customer that just had the car, getting a full refund, put 40 miles on the car, and if he comes back, I have to give him like a concession next time he comes back. So that rental just cost me the transport there and back, and then the 40 miles on the car. So that's a loss. Like this car has now lost me money for this past weekend, which is concerning. And I'm not used to that. These cars have gotten so reliable. I mean, we're talking Lamborghinis and Ferraris and Porsches and everything. Like, they're so reliable, we don't deal with this anymore. That's why I weeded out and said, like, you know what, I don't even want to deal with McLarens. They have too many electrical issues. Or the older cars, you're used to like an E-gear issue in an 04 Gallardo. We don't have that anymore. The old Murcielagos, all that stuff has been engineered out as time went on. And now it's like, well, my God, here we go again. And if that's the case, this Z06 is going to be like gone before it becomes a real problem in my life, because I can't have a car that, yeah, it's easy when it's like local, but if I drop it off in Queens and I come back in the middle of the night, the thing's stuck on the road, we now have this level of roadside assistance that we have to provide, and I can't be like, sorry, good luck on the rest of your rental. I have to give them a second car, and now I have an asset that costs me a lot of money that I can't do anything with. So it's at the dealership. It's over at Chevy in Paramus. We'll see what happens. I expect them to do something, fix it, change a valve body, do something. Hopefully it's not a full transmission replacement, but that's not unheard of on these cars. But to think of all the test miles and the demo days and everything like that, and then you see these problems happen in the hands of customers, it's not really that great. So this car, good, right? And it looks like a Z06. But the regular C8s, C8 convertibles, everything C8 is good. Z06, I'm withholding judgment. If this is a one-time thing, we fix it, it did its little hiccup and it's gone, different story, but I will keep you guys in the loop as to whether there is a real problem to be concerned with the Z06. I dislike the fact that it's not like a transmission light that comes on. The fact that it forces you to stop and then throws you into neutral, to me, is a big problem, and a safety problem that GM should probably rectify. Stay tuned. Rob Ferretti with, now this is the video. This is the end of the video for today. The video I was going to post Friday, which I didn't get around to posting Friday because I was busy all weekend, will now go up tomorrow. Thank you for watching. See you next time.